Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tempe City Council regular council meeting. Item number 1 is call to order. Council meetings can be watched in real time via Cox Cable Channel 11 and at tempe.gov/tempe11. Members of the public may also attend the meeting virtually through Microsoft Teams. If you have signed up to speak on items later on in the agenda, please know that as the presiding officer, I have the discretion to introduce items of their regular order as listed on the agenda. I may change the order of items from time to time to accommodate scheduling, to allow us to address items with a large number of speaker cards, so those wishing to speak on those items don't have to wait until later in the meeting or to otherwise expedite the business of the meeting. If you wish to speak on an agenda item and you haven't filled out a speaker card yet, please make sure to fill out and submit your completed card to the city clerk prior to the item coming forward for council discussion. I will call your name when it is your turn for public comment. I'd now like to invite everyone who's willing and able to stand to join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's agenda has a number of items that the City Council must consider in order to conduct council business. Guidelines for conduct of City Council meetings are on the table near the entrance for those in attendance at tonight's meeting. We will now play a video with the proper protocol for ensuring the appropriate conduct at City Council meetings.
The City of Tempe welcomes public comment at this time. Disruptive behavior will not be allowed. Continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. We need to be able to hear everyone in the room. Behavior that disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of any city council meeting is not helpful and is not permitted. This includes behavior both inside and outside of the council chambers. Should individuals inside the council chambers become disruptive so that city business is not able to be conducted, the mayor will first ask that the individuals allow city business to be completed. There will be time for public comment during the call to the audience portion of the meeting. If no cooperation, the mayor will issue a verbal warning and let them know that the continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. If there is still no cooperation, the mayor will issue a second verbal warning and let them know that the continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. If there is no cooperation after asking and 2 verbal warnings, then the mayor will ask security officers to remove only those individuals who are causing the disruption. Security personnel should not engage in any way, but only escort them from the council chambers. If individuals refuse to leave, security personnel shall warn them that they are trespassing and that the next step will be a Tempe police officer. Tempe officers may have to arrest if individuals refuse to leave. Charges for trespass and disorderly conduct may apply, as well as other charges. Should anyone be asked to be removed, the mayor will recess the meeting.
That brings us to item number 4, meeting minutes. Tonight I'll be assisted by Councilmember Amberg. Councilmember Amberg.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the City Council meeting minutes in item 4A1.
It's been moved by Councilmember Amberg and seconded by Councilmember Keating. Please vote. Is it up? Refresh it. Oh. There we go. Thank you. And that vote passes 7-0. Next up, item 4B, acceptance of board, commission, and committee meeting minutes. Councilmember Amberg.
Mr. Mayor, I move to accept the board, commission, and committee meeting minutes and items 4B1 through 4B4.
Second. It's been moved by Councilmember Amberg and seconded by Councilmember Keating. Please vote. And that item also passes 7-0. Next up, item 5, reports and announcements. Item 5A1, Tempe 311 proclamation. If there are any staff here from Tempe 311, can you please join me down front? The whole team's here. Yep. All right, so this proclamation reads, whereas Tempe 311 serves as the primary point of contact for residents, businesses, and visitors, providing exceptional customer service and access to city resources. And whereas Tempe 311 plays a vital role in enhancing transparency, efficiency, and responsiveness within the city of Tempe by connecting the community with essential services, addressing concerns, and ensuring timely resolutions. And whereas the dedicated professionals of Tempe 311 work tirelessly to assist residents with inquiries related to city operations, infrastructure, and community programs, fostering trust and engagement between local government and the people it serves. And whereas Tempe 311 continues to embrace innovation by utilizing technology and data-driven solutions to improve service delivery and ensure residents receive the highest level of support and information. And whereas through their commitment, professionalism, and dedication, the employees of Tempe 311 exemplify the City of Tempe's values of customer service, accessibility, and civic engagement. Now, therefore, I, Corey Woods, Mayor of the City of Tempe, Arizona, do hereby declare March 11th, 2025 as Tempe 311 Recognition Day in Tempe, Arizona. And one more without me.
There you go, just the team. Big smiles, 1, 2, 3, and then more like that. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, you're right. Thank you. My goodness, thank you, Vice Mayor Garland. Before we continue, I need to go back here to make sure we play the video conveying the City of Tempe's native land acknowledgement statement. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
We wish to acknowledge that Tempe is the homeland of the native people who have inhabited this landscape since time immemorial. These ancestral lands of the O'odham, known as Pima, Peeposh, known as the Maricopa, and their ancestors extend far beyond our city. This land continues to be spiritually connected to the O'odham of the Salt River Pima, Maricopa Indian community, and Gila River Indian community. We accept the responsibility of stewarding those places and solemnly pledge to consider this commitment in every action.
Thank you very much. Next up, item 5A2, reappointments and/or appointments to the Historic Preservation Commission, Library Advisory Board, and Neighborhood Advisory Commission. So I'd like to congratulate Dave Fackler, Kiyomi Karuka, and Jean Robinson on their reappointments to the Historic Preservation Commission, Sonia Sen on her appointment to the Library Advisory Board, and Joe Caudle and Allison Polos on their appointments to the Neighborhood Advisory Commission, as outlined in item 7A1 on this evening's agenda. Next up, item 5B, City Manager's reports and announcements. Madam City Manager.
No announcements this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. That brings me next to item number 6, public appearances. According to the Arizona Open Meeting Law, the City Council may only discuss, respond to, or take action on matters listed elsewhere on this agenda for discussion and legal action. The purpose of the open call to the public is to allow individuals to address the City Council on any issue within the jurisdiction of the City Council. No person shall speak more than once, and there is a limit of 3 minutes per speaker. In the interest of allowing all members of the public to have an opportunity to speak, in the case that there is such a large number of persons intending to speak during the meeting that it may deprive other members of the public from the reasonable opportunity to speak, the mayor may limit each speaker to less than 3 minutes. Speakers present at the podium must state their name and city of residence and provide a speaker card. Members of the public shall refrain from making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks and from becoming boisterous while addressing the City Council or while attending the meeting. Speakers will be taken first come, first serve in the order in which the cards are received. Speakers' visual aids and appearances by phone or recordings are not allowed. The City Council is prohibited by state law from discussing, responding to, or taking action on matters raised during the call to the public, even if asked to do so by a member of the public, so long as the subject discussed by the speaker is not listed as a specific agenda item for Council's consideration for discussion and legal action. Individual members of the Council may respond to criticism made by speakers, ask staff to review a matter, or request a matter be placed on a future agenda. Once again, I'm going to read these off in the order in which they were received. The first speaker I have this evening is Amanda Clark. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name's Amanda Clark, and I'm a resident of Tempe. It's nice to see you all, and thank you for your service to the city of Tempe. And I live about 1.5 miles west of Shalimar Golf Club in Tempe. And appreciate you letting me speak today. At Shalimar, every golfer of every age and ability is welcome. The course is home to several fun leagues and has served as the practice facility for local school teams. It is also a favorite spot for non-golfers who want to birdwatch, stroll with their dogs, play touch football, listen to music, and so much more. It is beloved by the people of Tempe and by so many others around the valley. I am a lifelong golfer, and I've never experienced a golf club like Shalimar. It's a unique and welcoming environment where I've learned to hang out with people half my age and people nearly twice my age, and with whom I may have thought before Shalimar I had nothing in common. That environment should be preserved in some way by Tempe and its residents. I'm also a professor of earth sciences, and although my area of research lies elsewhere, I teach the concepts of urban heat island in my 100-level natural hazards course. And we use Tempe, Phoenix, and the Valley as a cautionary tale and case study. As you all probably know, vegetation and green spaces serve to mitigate the effects of urban heat island, and satellite data show that large green spaces like Shalimar and Ken McDonald are among the coolest places in Tempe. Those large green spaces also produce a halo of cooling around them, and the extent of that halo tends to scale with the size of the green space. Large green spaces produce large cooling halos, and in the case of Shalimar, that cooling extends many blocks beyond the confines of the course itself. I therefore see rezoning of that space detrimental to the long-term health and happiness of Tempe residents. I request that the mayor and the city council consider my thoughts when deciding the fate of green spaces, and I respectfully ask that you help preserve the land that hosts Shalimar Golf Club as if you can, and help us as a community to preserve that large green space, preferably with a golf course. Thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it. The next speaker I have is Ramon Aerosmith. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
All right, yes, Ramon Aerosmith. I'm a member or a citizen of the city of Tempe for the last 30 years, and I've owned our house on Del Rio for the last 25. It's between Mill and College. And I ride my bike to Shalimar, where I learned to golf, and also where we found a community. I'm also a professor of earth sciences, like Professor Clark. Among each are the geology of the valley and airborne and satellite imaging. So I want to urge you to not only oppose, but also preserve the Shalimar property as a city park or golf course. It's an invaluable asset to the city. The Shalimar property is unusual in its scale. It's an open space with mature vegetation, and it's a haven for people and animals. It has character as opposed to a proposed characterless apartment complex. I've supervised master's theses and research on the urban heat island. Vegetation cools its surroundings thanks to evapotranspiration. It's a natural air conditioner. Passing into a vegetated area like Shalimar, one can feel the cool. Now, right now, it's cool here in March, but let's remember that in July. And we know it's getting hotter and hotter, especially the evenings get hotter and hotter, right? This effect is magnified by the scale of the green. It's not effective with a few trees against concrete walls and asphalt parking lots. Heat in cities is a matter of concern. It affects the quality of life for all of us. The argument that apartments use less water than a golf course is technically correct, but it's spurious. The apartments and what landscaping they have will use some water. Golf courses can be provided reclaimed water. In addition, water that's applied or comes as rain will infiltrate into the groundwater when it falls on vegetation and soil. That's not the case for impervious concrete or asphalt. So I urge you to view the I urge you to view preservation of the Shalimar property as an investment in Tempe's future. The city's landlocked, and while it will continue to grow and be more urban, future generations will be grateful for the respite of this open green space. Thanks.
Thank you. The next speaker I have this evening is Kathleen Ross. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Ross, and I reside on the 9th hole here in Tempe at Shalimar. And it's good to see all of you. I'm active in the Tempe community with the Elks and at Friendship Village. And Shalimar, I was married there 11/11/11, and it is home to many, as you heard. All I'm going to say, and I'll keep it short, is visit. Visit Shalimar. When was the last time you went there? Go there, visit, and then make your sound decision to say no to rezoning. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker I have this evening is Kelly Choyu. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Kelly Sholia. I live in Tempe, and I'm very proud to live there. Thank you, Mayor, council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible work of our city staff and express my gratitude for the dedication to making Tempe a better place. First, I want to highlight our city manager, Rosa. Your hard work, intelligence, and deep care for this city and its people do not go unnoticed. Your leadership sets the tone for the incredible progress Tempe continues to make, and I am grateful for your efforts. Second, what can be said about Keith Burke? I'll admit, I like to give Keith a hard time and challenge him by adding more to his already full plate, especially when it comes to improving bike infrastructure. But Keith, thank you for always humoring me and for making real progress on the long list of needs I bring to you. Your commitment to our city's active transportation network is invaluable. To Eric and Shelley, you two are absolute powerhouses. Thank you for your work on Miller Road, the reinstatement tunnel lighting, and the upcoming improvements to the Indian Bin Wash Path. These projects make a real difference in the lives of our residents and visitors, and your dedication is deeply appreciated. Craig and Alex, I want to extend my gratitude to both of you, to you both for always having an open mind and being willing to explore new ideas from outside the city to enhance our parks and preserves. Your passion for our natural spaces, including Papago Park, has been instrumental in preserving and improving these valuable community assets. Now, I want to shift gears for a moment and share a personal story. Last December, my bike was stolen. To say I was devastated is an understatement, but Tempe PD rose to the occasion and incredibly recovered my bike within 48 hours. That act of dedication allowed me my 32-mile daily commute to work in North Scottsdale, and for that, I'm extremely grateful. Our officers go above and beyond every day, and I want to acknowledge their hard work and commitment to this community. Speaking of bike paths, I have one more request. More safety signage for pedestrians. With the increased number of visitors and new residents unfamiliar with shared path etiquette, we need educational signage reminding everyone, cyclists and pedestrians alike, to stay aware of their surroundings. Too often we see pedestrians with noise-canceling headphones, completely unaware of their environment. Addressing this issue with clear, visible signage can help make our paths safer for all users. Thank you for your time and attention tonight. I appreciate the work you do for our city and look forward to continuing these important conversations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Your dog was falling asleep. So I can resist.
Next up, Michael Clark. Is Michael Clark here? No. Okay. Then I'm going to go next to Suzanne Nee. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
I'd like to thank the council for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Suzanne Nee, and I'm a Tempe resident.
Can you put the microphone a little closer to
Okay, sorry. I'm a Tempe resident. I'm a golfer in the 9 and Wine golf clinics. Shalimar has been such a wonderful community building place that I have known, the green space over these years. I looked up the meaning of the name Shalimar, and I learned it has the roots in Persian and South Asian cultures, translating to abode of love or heavenly garden. It evokes imagery of beauty, tranquility, and affection, embodying a space where love flourishes and nature thrives. This golf course was aptly named. I reached out to other women who do the bi-weekly golf clinics and asked to share this. One said, I saw a family of foxes on the golf course, wild birds, fishes in the ponds, turtles sunning themselves, woodpeckers' homes, and much more while playing golf at Shalimar for the past 33 years. If Shalimar is no longer an open green space, where would all these living creatures go? How would they fare with the environmental change? What would be their outcome? Alongside the other living creatures mentioned, the children, the youth, the family opportunities, from fishing in the ponds with their parents to the cross-country races from schools across the state, the great work sponsoring people with disabilities golf clinics, the charity tournaments for cancer research, and so much more would fall by the wayside for Tempe and surrounding cities of residents of Chandler, Mesa, and Phoenix. I hope you will consider the value of Shalimar green space to the community when you are called to vote to rezone the property. I believe there is a compromise that can be made somewhere between a golf course and high-density rental housing. Please vote no in rezoning Shalimar Golf Course. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker I have this evening is the Honorable Allison Ewers. Please come forward, state your name and city of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor Woods, Vice Mayor Garland, council members, Rosa, the entire city staff, police, and fire. I'm here to tell you today, thank you. I'm a little choked up. I'm here as a mom of a Tempe elementary school kid, and I see what you all are doing to help our families every single day. None of you have let me down when it comes to calling and getting some help for some of our parents who've been displaced and have food insecurity and need some place to stay at night. You attend our board meetings so that you know what's going on in the community, and it allows our parents to see that you really care. You ask our kids, do they like their parks? What do they like about the city? What else do they want to see? And you care about every single student, no matter where they come from, who they love, and what their color is. So I just want to take a minute to thank you for that. Thank you for Kids Zone. We're coming up on spring break, and Kids Zone camps are incredible, and they're providing something for our families that we need so we can continue to work as adults, take care of our kids, and make sure they're in a loving environment. And before and after school, I'm grateful. I'm only telling you of everything that my child is participating in, and I'm here as one of your residents who couldn't do this without the city. I also want to thank you guys because you attended our blood drive, and with your help and the blood that you donated, we were able to save over 130 lives. So I'm here today to ask you to please participate next year in our community blood drive. And thank you for all you do, because you're not just giving blood, but you're giving your heart, and please send it back to the city and your staff and continue to love on our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. That is all the cards I have this evening. Is there anyone else in the audience this evening wishing to address the city council? If so, could you get my attention now? All right, seeing none, I will close that portion of the meeting, and I will move to item number 7, which is the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be considered as a group and will be enacted with one motion by the city council unless an item is removed for separate consideration. Members of the public may remove public hearing items for separate consideration. Public hearing items are designated as public hearing item at the beginning of the item title. Council members may remove any item for separate consideration or to declare a conflict of interest. If a council member would like to declare a conflict at this time, the city clerk will provide the council member with a disclosure form. If you wish to speak on a public hearing item, please fill out a speaker card and submit your completed card to the city clerk prior to the agenda item coming forward for council discussion. I will call your name when it is your turn for public comment. This evening, the consent agenda consists of miscellaneous items 7A1 through 7A6, awards of bids and contracts items 7B1 through 7B9, and resolutions items 7C1 through 7C9. Once again, any agenda item designated as public hearing item can be removed by a member of the public for separate consideration. If anyone would like to have a public hearing item removed, please get my attention now. All right, seeing none, I'll look to my council colleagues to see if there are any agenda items that you'd like to have removed from the consent agenda for separate consideration. Okay, it's been moved. The consent agenda approval's been moved by Councilmember Hodge, seconded by Vice Mayor Garland. Please vote. And that item passes 7-0. Next up, we have the non-consent agenda. Item 8. All items listed on the non-consent agenda will be considered separately. Agenda items scheduled for introduction and first public hearing will be heard, but will not be voted upon at this meeting. Agenda items scheduled for second public hearing and final adoption will be voted upon tonight. Council members who have a conflict of interest may abstain from voting on a matter, and the city clerk will provide the council members with a disclosure form at this time. First up, we have item 8A, miscellaneous items, bids, contracts, and resolutions. First item under the section is 8A1, which is to award 2-year contracts with 3 one-year renewal options to Fire Truck Solutions, Freightliner of Arizona, LLC, doing business as Velocity Truck Centers, the W.W. Williams Company, LLC, and RWC Group to provide maintenance and repair services on city-owned fire apparatus and heavy vehicles for the Fire Medical Rescue Department. Council members, any comments or discussion on this item? It's been moved by Vice Mayor Garland and seconded by Councilmember Chin. And that item passes 7-0. The last item under the section is 8A2, which is to approve the utilization of 1-year Mojave Educational Service cooperative contracts with Arizona Recreation in joint venture with JP & Sons Incorporated, Dave Bang Associates Incorporated, Exerplay Incorporated, General Acrylics, and Play It Safe Playgrounds and Park Equipment Incorporated for the supply of playground, splash pad, outdoor fitness, and related equipment for use by the Community Services Department. Council members, any comments or discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Adams and seconded by Councilmember Hodge. Please vote. And that item also passes 7-0. The next section on the non-consent agenda is ordinances and items for introduction and first hearing. The items under this section will be read and introduced tonight, but no substantive votes will be taken. The second hearings and votes are scheduled for March 27th, 2025. So the first item under the section is 8B1, which is to introduce and hold the first public hearing to adopt an ordinance to transfer a portion of the Capital Improvement Program Municipal Art Fund, project number 6611339, to project number 5499891H, Union Pacific Railroad Underpass Wall Repairs, Mill Avenue. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council on this item? If so, please get my attention. Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council members, any comments or discussion? All right, hearing none, the second and final public hearing on this item is scheduled for March 27th, 2025. The last is 8B2, which is to introduce and hold the first public hearing to adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 27, Article 2 of the Tempe City Code relating to sewers general by amending Sections 27-155 relating to enforcement and 27-196 relating to sewer charges to clarify responsible staff and departments and when additional meters may be permitted or required. This is also a public hearing item. If there's anyone in the audience wishing to address the council on this item, please get my attention at this time. Okay, seeing none, I will close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council members, any comments or discussion? All right, hearing none, the second and final public hearing on this item is scheduled for March 27th, 2025. The last section on the non-consent agenda is ordinances and items scheduled for second hearing and final adoption, so votes on these items will be taken this evening. So the first item under the section is 8C1, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to adopt an ordinance for a planned area development overlay to modify building height and a development plan review for a new 7-story self-storage building on 2.87 acres for U-Haul moving and storage at Tempe Town Lake, located at 500 North Scottsdale Road. The applicant is RKAA Architect Incorporated. Council members, any questions for the applicant, or would you like a presentation?
No questions, no presentation.
Okay, sounds good. This also is a public hearing item as well. If there's any public testimony on this item, can you please get my attention now? Seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing, and I'll look to the council for a motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Hodge and seconded by Councilmember Keating. Please vote. And that item passes 7-0. The next item under the section is 8C2, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to receive public comment on and adopt a resolution authorizing the substantial amendments to the fiscal year 2020-2024 consolidated plan, the fiscal year 2023-2024 annual action plan, and the fiscal year 2024-2025 annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnership Program Grant, and Emergency Solutions Grant. The purpose of these amendments is to authorize ADA accessibility activities at the Tempe Envision Center and to clarify the purpose of the acquisition, affordable housing, and real promise activities already authorized in the original plans. This is also a public hearing item, so if there's anyone who wants to testify on this item, please get my attention now. All right, seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council members, any comments or discussion? Let me do this here. So it's been moved by Vice Mayor Garland. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Keating. Councilmember Adams?
Yes, I just want to say what a great job the city has done with the Tempe Envision Center. I mean, we just keep growing it and making it better and better. Hats off to our city manager, Rosenchowski, for leading this effort, and it's very, very important piece of work. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Adams. Any further comments by council? All right, hearing none, please vote. And that item passes 7-0. The last item under the section is 8C3, which is to hold the second and final public hearing to adopt an ordinance amending Tempe City Code, Chapter 2, Article 5, Division 10, Section 2-269, to align the Commission on Disability Concerns officer selection with the January 1st through December 31st calendar year and limit consecutive service in each role to reflect current practice. This is also a public hearing item, so if there's any public testimony, can you please get my attention now? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Council members, any comments or discussion?
Motion to approve.
I think the motion was made by Councilmember Hodge and seconded by Councilmember Adams.
That's correct, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Please vote. And that item also passes 7-0. That brings me to item number 9, current events, council announcements, and future agenda items. So during this section, council members may request that an agenda item be added to a future council meeting during their allotted time, but in accordance with the Arizona Open Meeting Law, there should be no discussion on the item other than to clarify the request. And I will now call upon council members for their comments. And this evening, I'm going to start with Councilmember Hodge.
I was excited to be at the Tempe Youth Leadership. I actually, myself, Vice Mayor Garland, and Mayor Woods got a chance to speak to the Tempe Youth Leadership Department. It was the same day that we had Tempe Bowls. Yes. So I got to buy bowls, and I got to speak to our kids. Also, I would like to wish all of us a happy Women History Month. This is exciting. Couldn't find a picture with all of us together at the same time, but I try to get as much of us in there as possible. So happy Women's History Month. And I also got to speak a special happy birthday to my mom. Her birthday was yesterday, and I tell her she watches all of my council meetings. She's probably one of 10 of us that do it together. So, love you, Mom. And also, we have a video, but it's Geeks Night Out. So play it, Jason.
We wish to acknowledge that Tempe...
That is definitely not the Geeks Night Out video. I can tell you that.
phenomenal. We have the schools, we have the businesses, we have the community coming out and just enjoying science and innovation. Tempe is a family city, and we know that to actually have a strong future, you have to invest in the kids young. And this is one way that we can invest in their minds and their knowledge and just their thoughts and also just their passion. And this is what this will actually bring them into the future. We'll see now a new Tempe coming out of this.
Come one, come all. And we also have a special professor, I won't say who it is, but he may be around here somewhere that actually he's actually the host of it all, Parrish.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Amberg.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Recently, I had the privilege of attending the 12th Annual Neighborhood Olympics put together by a bunch of our community members. I had a ton of fun. I brought my dogs, 2 of my new rescue puppies, so for anybody out there that they jumped on, so sorry about that. Keith and I actually got pulled into the cup flip competition, and we were a part of the everyone else, all of the other neighborhoods that were on there, and I will have to say that we won. It only took me one time to flip the cup, and it took Keith 2, so I beat Keith, just saying. All right. So they raised over $1,700 and collected over 2,400 donations for TCC's Threads Teens Clothes Closet, so it was a fantastic event for that. Special shout out to the winner, University Estates, so over at Daly Park, and I want to thank all the neighbors for joining and TCC for putting it together, and hopefully we can get more of the neighborhood associations out to compete next year. Second one, this weekend is the Tempe Festival of the Arts. They're going to be there from Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4:30. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they are actually ranked in the top 200 art festivals in the United States. And they recently awarded the Pinnacle Award for the International Festival Events and Association. DTA had over 1,000 artist applications. And they basically picked, I think, about 300. So there's going to be about 300 artist booths showcasing all their unique handmade art. A portion of the proceeds are going to benefit local charities and supports the Tempe community. It's family friendly, free, dog friendly, and it takes place on Mill Avenue between University Drive and 3rd Street. And if you live anywhere in the downtown area, you may want to go grocery shopping soon, because you're not going to be able to get out or get in.
Thank you, Councilmember Amber. And just to say on that note, I do live in the downtown, and every year when the art festival actually does take place, I go to the grocery store and buy a ton of food and meal prep, because you're right, I basically have only one way in and one way out. So I try to make sure I fully stock up. So that is a correct statement, so thank you. But we love the art festival. I do eat kettle corn, but actually it's the cinnamon almonds that I do eat even more of. So next up, Vice Mayor Garland.
Thank you so much. This, there's a care fair. I don't know if everybody has attended this, but it's really wonderful. This is open for families to come and attend. They do this annually. It's a Tempe Health and Human Services Day. It is Saturday, March 29th from 9 to 12, and it'll be at the Tempe Community Complex. So you should all make plans to go there. There's food, music, and information booths, and it's open to everybody. The next one is we are still taking some registrations for our Shine the Light Young Women's Conference. It is almost full, so if you are interested or you know somebody who would be interested that's between the ages of 14 and 22, you will want them to get registered. And you can do that by going to www.tempe.gov/youngwomen. And you can register there. Thank you so much for the sponsors that we have. One addition that's not on the list that you see on the screen is APS, and I think it's really cool that we're called Shine the Light as our conference, and we've got a light company that's our company that's going to be out there with us. So I thought that was kind of fun. We are also registering mentors. So if you are interested in taking part in our mentoring program, you can also register online. So hope you guys will get in there. We are have a little bit of space left. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor, can I ask you a quick question? If I'm 22 and a half, can I come?
I'll squeeze you in.
22 and a half. Oh, man. Next up, Councilmember Keating.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to wish my brother a happy 52nd birthday. Unlike Councilmember Hodges' mother, though, he does not watch the meetings, so I doubt he's ever watched one. But so he'll never know. But for the record, it does exist, and I did wish him a happy birthday. Thank you.
Can I just do a quick follow-up on that? My son Michael's birthday. Oh, there we go. So
Oh,
we got
wow.
three people on this wonderful day
All
today.
right.
Happy birthday, Michael.
But does he watch the meetings?
No.
Fair enough. All right, next up, Councilmember Adams.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's the last weekend for Arizona Theater Company's popular Blues in the Night at the Tempe Center for the Arts. The final performance is Sunday, March 9th. This play is set in the 1930s Chicago blues, is a musical celebration of the blues and its influence on American music. Be sure to use my buy one, get 50% off discount code for tickets. Just go to atc.org and use the code BIN Adams when you check it out. Second, the Arizona Aloha Festival is coming to Tempe. This year, the Aloha Festival has expanded to 2 days because it was so popular, of live entertainment and celebration of the spirit of Aloha. The Aloha Festival is a free family event. On Saturday, March 15th and Sunday, March 16th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Tempe Beach Park. Join us for food, music, dance, vendors, and storytelling. And I too have a care fair of Tempe in case Vice Mayor missed anything. So mark your calendars for Saturday, March 29th. The care fair exhibit is from 9 a.m. to noon at the Tempe Community Complex. And that's basically where the solar parking is. So you can park under and get shade. And this is a free resource event which will feature over 70 booths from nonprofits. Learn about available programs, services, and volunteer opportunities. Enjoy music, food, kids' activities, free giveaways, and on-site services. And we do need more volunteers, so it's a great way to go and check everybody out and see where you might be interested in volunteering. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Councilmember Adams. Next up, Councilmember Chin.
Thank you, Mayor. Everybody get out your phones. I'm looking at you. Get out your phones. Open the camera. Scan that QR code, even those playing at home. I'd like to congratulate and send best wishes to Johanna Eva. She's a senior at Marcos de Niza. She has earned the Flynn Scholarship level as a finalist, and she's a future Sun Devil. She's also the writer and producer of Trust That in Trouble, a Tempe musical. That's the QR code that you just scanned. This 1-hour musical is set during Tempe's frontier days and is from the perspective of a Mexican-American man named Chris Segala, the first lawman in this western town. The musical premieres on Thursday, March 27th at 7 p.m., and it's at the Tempe History Museum. Admission is free, but you do need to reserve the limited seats. So let's support this young playwright. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Chin. I don't have any this evening, so I will move on to item number 10. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the City Council? If so, please get my attention. All right, seeing none, I will close that portion of the meeting and move to item number 11, which is adjournment. The next scheduled regular City Council meeting is going to be on March 27, 2025. We are adjourned at 6:44 p.m. Thank you, everyone.